Good morning, YouTube. We've got some CNC updates for you.
Yay!
Yay! Well, yay.
So are you recording all of the nefarious activities?
If you're new to the channel, my name is Dan, that is Adam, and this is my garage. And this channel is all about the supercar ownership experience. And of course, if you've been watching the channel for a while, you know that we've been kind of chronicling this whole CNC saga, and we've got some updates for you, and they're big, they're interesting. Like we said before in the last update video, we're only going to update you when we find out new and interesting, large information. We're not going to kind of...
And verifiable.
Yeah, and verifiable.
So this isn't TMZ or nothing like
right,
that.
Right, we can't go off of like
legit.
the he said, she said, especially when it's like he said and he won't go on record saying it.
Yeah.
Before we get into that real quick, if you'd like to support us and support this channel, please go visit normalguysupercar.com. There you can buy parts for your supercar or other cars. Use the code NGS10. It'll knock off 10%. So we do appreciate it. Also, please subscribe to the channel. We do need your help to get to 75,000, where we're going to give away one of those clocks. Yeah, we have a Ferrari clock, the brake caliper clock. We're going to give away at 75,000. So join the channel. You can win just by being a subscriber. All right, YouTube. So I guess we have to give a little bit of a background first before we kind of go into this story, because it's a little bit of a departure from the normal CNC stuff we've talked about. So if you didn't know, Clay was involved with a lot of companies. He has many LLCs that he created, and some of them are like now big businesses. A lot of them are, I don't know exactly what they are. The one big business that he was involved in, and I don't know the details of his involvement, but it was another company called CNC Technologies. And CNC Technologies was actually based out of the same building as CNC Motors. So
was it? I didn't know it was out of the same building.
Yeah, like, so if you looked up like their website, it said like their address, and it was the same address and whatever. So I'm assuming they probably shared like some of the office space in that building, because, you know, the building had more than just like parking for cars. CNC Technologies is a company that does stuff with helicopters and like, I think it's like they work with the police and military, and I think it's like, you know, like the camera systems, and I don't know the details. You can go look up that company. It's a legit company. It's a real company. They have
a pretty nice website, actually.
Their website's actually pretty nice. Yeah. So I had not brought them up at all because of the fact that they appeared to be a legitimate company, and if anything was related to Clay, I didn't want to like throw shade at a company that's legitimate and has no, you know, relation to the situation other than Clay was an owner of the company, or is still. I don't know. I don't know the details. I know that he was an owner. He might still be an owner. I assume he is. There is a great Instagram account that is clearly a scorned CNC Motors victim.
Which is what I'm looking at.
Yeah. So it's if you're interested, it's Clay Thom Scammer. So that's the Instagram account. This person has been posting a lot of the court filings for what's going on with CNC Motors and Clay Thom, which all this stuff is public record. So like I have an account, you can go search for this. Anyway, so I was already aware of this one, but he brought it to my attention. CNC Technologies, this other company, is suing Clay and Amrezi LLC. So it's suing Amrezi LLC, a California limited liability company, and then Clay Thom, an individual. And then it's got a bunch of Jane Does or John Does because they don't know exactly who all is involved.
And it's worth mentioning, it appears that Amrezi is one of his...
It's one of his LLCs. Yes.
Because also on this Instagram account, somebody made like this cool little...
Yeah, the chart of all his companies.
So, and how they tie into them. So
CNC Technologies is suing Clay and Amrezi, however it's pronounced, LLC, for over $4 million. So, like, this is the first time we're seeing like a flat dollar amount lawsuit against Clay. And what's fascinating is this is not against CNC Motors. This is against Clay and his LLC, which, again, not CNC Motors. The reason is apparently, and I'm kind of paraphrasing, and I might be paraphrasing it wrong because I'm not super awesome at reading legal documents because it's kind of hard to understand, but effectively what it looks like is Clay and his LLC took out personal debt. They took out personal debt under the name of CNC Technologies. So basically they used CNC Technologies credit to take out personal debt of over $4 million. So basically, it's like
That's a paddling.
it's a $4 million paddling.
Oh, you better believe that's a paddling.
So basically, they're suing him for breach of fiduciary duties because he was an owner of the company.
Also,
There's a bunch of other
conversion, fraud, concealment, breach of contract, and breach of implied covenant of good faith and fair dealing, which I have no idea what that means in legal mumbo jumbo.
I love in court filings how they have like certain things. The conduct of Resi acting alone or by and through its agent was despicable and in conscious disregard for the rights of the plaintiff. I just love how they...
I wonder if somebody pulled up like a thesaurus online and it was like
what's a good word for
yeah,
this?
for despicable. Like, I bet you if you read through that, there's a ton of...
Subjecting plaintiff to cruel and unjust hardship and entitles plaintiff to punitive or exemplary damages in amount sufficient, blah, 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 blah. So, like, you get the idea. Basically, this is a big one. So this is really interesting because, again, outside of the bounds of CNC Motors, this is not a victim of someone who had a car transaction. So totally unrelated to that.
Man, some of this stuff for compensatory damages in the amount to be proven at trial, but no less than $4 million.
Yeah.
No less than $4 million.
Yeah.
For damages to business reputation amount to be proven at trial for prejudgment. Like, they're talking, like, again, I'm not a lawyer. I know a Texas lawyer, but I'm not a lawyer. Like, they're saying, like, it's going to go to trial. Like, normally...
it says, like, it really...
Don't they normally, like, try to settle out of court and everything like that? But, like...
Well, but you put it there.
Man,
I mean, it's in court. It's already gone to court. So.
Yeah, but, like, a jury. And it sounds like they
Yeah.
want to go, like, in front of a jury and everything like that.
Yeah, this is... Such conduct by Resi and Thom constitutes a wrongful and substantial interference with and conversion of the property of CNC Technology, namely a sum of at least $4 million by knowing and intentionally encumbering CNC Tech with numerous unauthorized personal debts and obligations in no way related to CNC Tech without authority to do so and actively concealing it from CNC Tech with at least one such debt resulting in a lawsuit against CNC Technology. So not only they take out money without their permission, he got them sued. So that's like, ooh.
I guess I need to get rid of all that debt I took out in a normal guy's name.
Yeah. It says stealing money from CNC Tech for the benefit. It says stealing money from the CNC Tech for the benefit of Thom and or Resi, including but not limited to stealing CNC Tech funds for the benefit of Thom himself, Thom's mother, numerous entities associated with Thom, including but not limited to CNC Motors, Craig Thom Properties, and LIG Financial, as well as several other bank accounts known to CNC Tech and associated with Thom. This is a big one. So this is a big deal. Yeah, we're going to obviously have some updates on this one. If you guys want to read the whole court filing, you can go to Clay Thom Scammer on Instagram, or you can go Google how to look up court documents. And if you really want to get the court documents themselves, those of you that have a law degree could probably read it a lot better than I can. That sounds pretty damning to me. Not good stuff. Again, these are
brought
all...
his mom into it.
Yeah,
that's how you know you messed up.
Yeah.
When they're like,
you
his
messed up
mom.
so bad that we're gonna...
You're so broke, your mama. The
Yeah,
jokes
right?
write themselves.
Oh, man. So we have one other update. This one's not good news. Like it's ever good news with this stuff. In the last video we did an update, you heard that a lot of these people are waiting for money from the California Recovery Fund, which is the fund where basically every time someone buys a car in California through a dealership, the dealership is required by law to send money into this fund. I think it's only a couple dollars, or maybe it's even $1 per transaction. That fund then is used for situations like this. It's completely depleted. So the number of people filing for the recovery fund
And being approved for it, not just filing against it.
and
but
already been
actually-
paid out.
Yeah.
So it's completely
Bust.
I think the fund is going to try and still pay these people back. Who knows how long that's going to take. I mean, they could be in arrears for like years. I don't know. There's so many people who are, so like I'm still on that email chain, and lots of the people on the email chain are saying they've submitted their stuff, got approved, and then they were told there's no money, so they're waiting.
Yeah.
It's just, man, it's like it just never ends. It just... Yeah.
It's crazy too because it was such a legitimate dealership for so long. Like, if this was like Bob's auto mall in the corner or something
Right.
like that out of a
Well, that's the
shack.
problem, is
Like,
it's so large.
you would kind of be like, well, you kind of get what you paid for. But he was held in such high regard in the community.
The other thing is that if it had been a small dealership, you may be talking 10, 15 cars.
Yeah.
You're talking hundreds.
Yeah.
So,
And expensive cars, not
Yeah.
Toyota Camrys
so if you
or
imagine,
anything like
let's say
that.
it's 100 cars, and each person files for a $35,000 claim. It's a
boatload of money.
$3.5 million right
Yeah,
there.
it's a quack load of money. Did the editing for you.
Oh, thanks. Well, I can't actually, it's a load of money. See, it sounds better when edited. Anyway, that's what we got. I wish I had better news. Every time we have stuff for CNC, it's generally not great news. This whole thing's going to take years, in my opinion, to kind of play out. I'm glad to see something that was outside of the bounds of just the CNC motor stuff, because I think this could be more interesting. CNC Technologies appears to be a large enough company to have enough funds to finally have potent lawyers, because it's hard when you're an individual. You're not going to go pay hundreds of thousands of dollars to file a lawsuit for a $50,000 car or a $100,000 car. It's just not worth it. But for a company to lose $4 million, they're going to pony up. We'll let you know if we hear more information. As we hear more information, feel free to check out Thom Scammer on Instagram. Great account, by the way. Again, please subscribe to the channel. Visit normalguysupercar.com, like and share. And we're going to be doing a lot of cool car stuff, so you're going to want to stay tuned.
It's going to be sweet.